happen in my life over the past few weeks. Hence why I am currently talking to you from inside of a closet. But, just due to these changes, I've got a lot on my mind. So, I'm not coming to you tonight with a space video. Instead, I'm kind of just riffing, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about what I've got going on in my life, as well as like ideas that I have for new content. You've always been a great listener, so do you want to just sit in this closet and listen to me talk? We have a lot of catching up to do. I could also play with your hair while we talk, just so I have something to do with my hands. I don't know if you knew this, but I used to be a dog groomer for about 10 years, and then I decided to go back to school. My major is biotechnology, and my minor is microbiology. I'm really interested in how microbes can play a role in plastic degradation. I've had an eventful semester. I moved during finals, so that was incredibly stressful, and that's why I haven't been on the platform in a few weeks. I feel really conflicted about the semester. First, I made all A's. This is the first semester where I've ever made all A's, and one of my classes was genetics, so that's kind of exciting. But I also dropped out of a class this semester, and that's not something I'm too proud of. I think I might have sensory issues, and I think they might be kind of getting in the way of the lab classes that I need to take. So I'm going to have to retake this chemistry lab again next semester. I don't really want to change my major because I do good in like lecture classes. I also work in a lab, and it's not like that. It's just the lab classes in particular, I guess because you're partnered up with another person and there's a lot of talking going on. But okay, so at one point before dropping this chemistry lab class, I think we were doing an experiment with enthalpy or something like that, and I put way too much dry ice in a beaker and froze it solid. And I mean, that's not good. It's not like I was just not paying attention. I was trying to pay attention, but it's like there was so much noise going on around me that I was struggling to pay attention to what I was looking at. And I've talked to the professor, I've talked to the TAs, I've talked to the Disability Resource Center, and it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot that they can do, which, I don't know, it's 2024. You think that they would have some sort of like accommodation for like, I don't know, people with sensory issues in classes like that, because it kind of seems like they're actively discouraging neurodivergent people from taking like STEM classes, and that's not fair. I guess the other flip side of that is like life isn't fair, but I'm going to suck it up and take this class over and over and over again until eventually I'm going to have to pass it. What sucks is that I need this class. I need this class to advance on to organic chemistry, microbiology classes. Not only that, while I was trying to figure out like what else I could do about this class, enrollment kind of filled up in the rest of these classes. And the only thing that was left for me to take was, just a second. The only thing that was left for me to take was a genetics lab. So, I mean, I'm only going half-time next semester because this is going to be a lot for me to handle. I'm going to have this chemistry lab that I struggled so much in, as well as a genetics lab. And I guess at least the genetics lab is 4 credit hours, but it's going to involve 2 lab reports a week, and the chemistry lab is going to involve 1 lab report a week, so I'm going to have to put out 3 lab reports a week, as well as working in the lab and going to class on top of all of that. So, I'm really not looking forward to next semester. I'm going to try and focus on the positives though. I'm in my junior year of my major, and I'm starting research this summer. Like here in the next few weeks, I'll be starting my own research project, which is really exciting for me because it makes me feel like I'm like an actual scientist. Like, I'm a baby scientist with training wheels, pretty much, but like, I'm learning to do like the whole research process, and who knows, maybe I'll have something cool to tell you guys about as far as like what research is like and what that entails. So I would like to get your opinion on some different ideas that I have for content. So I will probably keep putting out space videos at some point, but the whole thing with space videos is that I am genuinely like, I love outer space. I would go so far as to consider it like a hyperfixation for me. But the thing about the space content is that it's something I didn't have to concentrate so much on. It's something I didn't have to concentrate so much on when I was in school and trying to focus on other things, because I was basically just like reading directly from the NASA website. And now that it's summertime, maybe I want to focus more on like scripted content, and I have some different ideas, and I just want to see what you think about them. So I've been thinking about maybe doing a biology tutor roleplay. I think I could make some pretty good content with that, you know. I've been looking at my notes from freshman year, my biology notes from freshman year, and I mean, I'm just trying to go over some of the concepts again. I am a biotech major, and I'd like to have like a solid understanding of the fundamentals, you know. But I think maybe that would be a good way for me to do that. Like, I would be reviewing the material, but also like making it fun by doing like ASMR videos with it. I know that I could probably do like non-science content, but I don't know. I'm a nerd, and I think I want to stick to what I know best. Is that something you would be interested in? Is like I guess like a tutor, like a biology tutor role play. Like, would you be interested in learning about like biomolecules? Like that's the first thing that comes up in my notes from freshman year. Like, would you want to learn about like enzymes and lipids, stuff like that, nucleic acids? Because I'm pretty sure that I could teach that stuff and do an okay job at it. Like, well, okay, so some of these are kind of complicated concepts. I don't know that maybe I want to save this for later, you know. But I have some pretty good ideas. I could explain why insulin works the way it does, as well as like other hormones like testosterone and estrogen, because they work in different ways. Like the endocrine system is pretty fascinating on its own. Yeah, I've just got a lot of ideas. And as far as like the ASMR side of that goes, is like, I don't know, I could like incorporate like pen chewing because that's something I naturally do when I'm doing homework anyway. It might feel a little awkward to do that on camera, but I don't know, it's not like, maybe some people might take it as like obscene, but I genuinely feel like it's just kind of natural to like, when you're thinking, just do something like that, I guess. Like, it's just easier for me to, I like having something to do. I guess like a fidget, that's, I guess a lot of people do. So, the second idea that I had for new content would be kind of like positive science news. Hear me out. I know that might kind of sound boring, but I've been known to do my fair share of doom scrolling, and I feel like usually when we hear about science, and I feel like it causes a lot of anxiety, and it can be pretty scary at times, the kinds of things that we typically see on the news. But we're actually making like a lot of really fascinating advancements, and we just don't hear about those things very often. And I think maybe that might induce the opposite of anxiety and fear. Like, I think maybe it might be able to help people genuinely sleep better at night if they knew like some of the positive things that science was doing. Like, I don't know, I try to keep up with certain things. I feel like I need to stay informed on some of these things. But as far as like positive things go, later this year, Tide, the laundry soap company, they are coming out with plastic-free packaging, and it's genuinely plastic-free, and I kind of love to see that from like a major corporate brand. Like, I know there's a lot there as far as like the politics of all of that stuff goes, right? But that means that we might start seeing more like ecologically friendly packaging from other major companies in the future. So I feel like this might be a pretty big step. But what they're doing is they're pressing the detergent into like square tiles. So it's like dry soap in square tiles, and that is all getting packaged in a like cardboard box, like biodegradable cardboard box. So I'm pretty jazzed about that. I normally buy like generics, but I don't know. I might switch to Tide for that because I try to limit my exposure to plastics. It's kind of impossible, right? I mean, plastic is it's everywhere, but we're moving away from that as a society. And I think that's genuinely kind of amazing. And I love to see that we are making steps forward. Another really cool discovery. We've discovered another planet, and I think it's WASP 123. I don't know, let me check. Okay, the planet is called WASP 193b, and I don't know if you've watched like my other like space content or not, but there is another planet in like the WASP group. It's different, but it's like it's being pulled into an egg shape because it's like tidally locked with its planet. Anyway, that doesn't have anything to do with this planet. This is WASP 193b. 193b. Anyway, it is so, its density is so low that it's described as being a planet with the density of cotton candy. Like it's being called the cotton candy planet, which I think is just whimsical and fun. Like, we found a cotton candy planet. That's just really cute. So another thing that I thought was really cool from the news is we may have found a gene that's linked to handedness as far as like left-handed or right-handed, which I'm left-handed, so I think this is particularly cool. There is a gene that specifically encodes for like the structure inside of cells, like the structural support inside of cells. That structural support is called a microtubule. So there's a gene that codes for microtubules, basically. And when this gene becomes mutated, it can lead to like asymmetrical structures in the cells, like just uniquely shaped cells. But when these uniquely shaped cells come together, they form an asymmetrical brain. And we can't definitively say that, like, you know, there are reasons why, like, other, you know, like not all left-handed people are left-handed because of this mutation, you know, but it's a pretty big deal that we've been able to find this and figure it out, that there is a gene out there that specifically causes handedness. Because I mean that might also point us in the right direction as far as like what causes like neurodevelopmental differences like autism and ADHD. So I mean I've got some sort of like sensory issues going on. I'm also left-handed, so maybe I've got this gene. I actually went on 23andMe and found the gene, and then I went to like this website that catalogs all of the different genes we have, and I tried to look up whether or not my gene is mutated. It's like the TUB4 gene that I'm looking for, and the website that I used is called Blast, and it's I don't know, I think I would have to show it to you to explain how it works, but it's something we use sometimes in like genetics to look at nice to just kind of like talk about like just some lighthearted kind of positive discoveries in science. Maybe that doesn't have to be like a large piece of content, you know, that doesn't have to be like an hour long something, you know, but, and obviously I would probably do quite a bit more research on these news stories. Make sure that I have access to the journals because I fact check things. I fact check things. I am so thorough. I am so detailed. I guess that's maybe a good quality to have in like a baby scientist, but anyway, those are just kind of some ideas that I'm throwing out there. Yeah, you know, I didn't always feel comfortable putting out content in the apartment that I was staying in because I was constantly having to like cut up my videos, which like I would expect like a few cuts here and there in a video, because I mean like things happen, you know, you've gotta take care of things, but I mean like my videos, the videos that I was putting out there, they were like chopped up. And I think now that I'm in a different place and things can be a little bit more fluid, I think now would be like a really good time to like experiment in with new content. I think that's all I really have to say right now. I do want to have something to put out for you guys next week. There's a lot of space content, obviously, that I could cover. Like, space is endless. There's no shortage of things to do. Like, I could do another episode on the moon. We just had those auroras. I could do an episode on auroras. Let's see, there's the moons of Saturn, the moons of Jupiter, the upcoming Artemis missions. Like, there is all kinds of things. Like, I could talk about this stuff forever. So, let me know if you want to do that. Or maybe you would like to know, maybe you would like to hear some more positive, like, science news stories. That's something I would like to do. Or maybe you would be into, like, the biology tutor role plays. Just, I would really like to know, you know, I think I'm going to have fun with this, you know, like whatever I do. Like, this is my channel and I'm gonna talk about things that interest me. And I guess if you're a nerd, then that's cool. You know, you can watch my content and that's great. You know, I love having you here. You know, I guess, I don't know, I'm just being awkward at this point, but, genuinely, I want to know what you have to say. I want to know what you think. So, just let me know down in the comments below. I also would like to genuinely thank you for all of the support and coming to check out my content. It means a whole lot. I think it's kind of amazing that the internet can connect like-minded people who might be into like science-based ASMR videos, like incredibly niche content, but I'm not the only like science ASMR creator. Like, I'm not even like, my channel is still pretty new. Like, I'm still learning. Like, this is still like, I guess I would call it like a baby ASMR channel. But it's like there's so many like-minded people out there, and that's kind of amazing because sometimes I know I feel kind of alone, so it's really something special that I get to connect with all of you. And I don't know, I guess I don't have like a whole lot of expectations from this video aside from just like what you think would be interesting, like finding out what you think would be interesting.